Viewers and subscribers, this is still BVI Channel 1. You're welcome back again on the platform that drops the truth like a bombshell. Oh yes, as I told you, Professor Lumumba have addressed the impunity of this country and those perpetuating it face to face. In Nigeria, as they are celebrating the 63 years failed experiment of British colonial contraption you call Nigeria, he told them to their faces, the APC illegitimate government, piloted by the man we know as Tinubu, that their dancing time on the stage of the political impunity in Nigeria through Asorok is coming to an end. Make us listen to them.
No matter how good a dancer you are, you must know when to leave the stage. There are too many dancers in Africa who think I'm the only dancer in town. And until God calls me, I'm not leaving the stage. Such dancers will be removed by men. And that is how I explained the coup d'etats that are coming here in 1964, talking about the military interventions in civilian government. This is what Kwame Nkrumah said. The military have no business interfering with civilian governments. But if civilian governments misbehave, it may become necessary for a short period to disrupt their agenda so that they can midwife a new dispensation. It is in this context that we must understand the military interventions. But remember that true democracy requires and demands the eternal vigilance of the people, because Africa has also seen a situation where military leaders remove their uniform and adorn suits, and lo and behold, like Paul and Saul, they become civilians themselves. And therefore, it is important, even as we celebrate these military coups, to remind ourselves that they are merely midwives. And midwives are neither the father, nor the mother, nor the child. Their duty is to ensure that all the three are happy. And we, the population, must be eternally vigilant. And that is why, therefore, when we talk about democracy, we must ask ourselves, what are we doing wrong? And we must also ask the question, are coup d'etats only mounted by men and women in uniform? No. I've seen coups mounted by judiciaries in Africa. I've seen coups being mounted by the political class in Africa. When people engage in sophistry in interpreting constitution, those are also coup d'etats. And I would want us, therefore, as we talk about strengthening democracy, we must also talk about strengthening institutions. Whether it is in Kenya, whether it is in Zimbabwe, whether it is in Nigeria, whether it is in Ghana, we must have a culture of respecting institutions. Sometimes in Africa, we behave as if institutions work on their own motion. No. Institutions are as strong as the men and women who occupy them. If you have wrong men and wrong women in office, no matter how strong the institution you claim to be strong, it will not perform, because the history of nature is one: garbage in, garbage out. And if that is the case, therefore, we who are gathered here and talking about governance, this is serious business. What we are talking about here is serious business. I want you to look at Africa now with me. In Sudan, in Khartoum, because of bad governance and absence of democracy, no schooling going on in Khartoum. If you are a university professor, no university to lecture at. There is no agriculture going on there. There are no health services going on there. in Khartoum. The thing that they built, they are destroying. It will take generations to rebuild Sudan. We are talking about development. In the health sector, all the children that ought to have been vaccinated will not be vaccinated, which means that all the disease that we had conquered will come back again, so that the health burden will be that heavy. No food is being planted, so that we'll once again be importing rice and wheat from Ukraine, which is at war. Look at the Sahel now. Mali is de facto divided into two, no agriculture going on. So that you will be importing chicken from Brazil, chicken. No agriculture. I'm talking about development, brothers and sisters. If you are sick because there is no research going on in our universities, no research. We receive medicine from India, from China, and we take the medicine by faith because we do not know what they contain. Our bureaus of standardization have no standards for these things. And if you doubt me, only recently we had syrup imported from India. How many children did it kill in the Gambia? We have no standardization. So we are talking about serious business in Africa. Go to the Democratic Republic of Congo, the eastern part of it, over 120 armed groups. The busiest airspace in the continent of Africa. The rest of the world is taking our resources. There is a new scramble for Africa. Today, Africa is a theater for other worlds. If the British have gone and they have not gone, if the French have gone and they have not gone, if the Portuguese have gone and they have not gone, if the Belgians have gone and they have not gone, Chinese are also here. They are here. Building roads, building stadia. The Turks are here. The Qataris are here. The Russians are here. And yet Africans somehow believe that when we remove one slave master and we bring another slave master, then it's better.
Good. Now tell me, what did you not hear from him? No, tell me, what did you not hear from him? Lumumba said it in black and white, with no ambiguity, to their faces in Nigeria. Tell me, the man that is quick to condemn coup d'etat in Niger Republic and ready to invade Niger on behalf of France committed the worst coup d'etat in Nigeria, bloody one for that matter, because the ones we experience elsewhere in Africa, people were not killed. But during his own political constitutional coup d'etat, people were killed. During the elections, people were mowed down, people were mutilated, people were, come on. And at the end of the day, he lost the election. But after all, we have coup d'etat through INEC and consolidated by the judiciary. The same people. You are celebrating 63 years. How do you expect to move forward with a flat, not even with a flat tire, with no tire at all? Having men, charlatans, men of questionable character, men that their records are not straight, men that their identity are not known, men that we are yet to know their true identity, their date of birth, their state of origin, their academic record, which is already in the known. Not just Tinubu. It is not just Tinubu that is into the scandal. It has become the standard procedure. Go and check most of your political leaders. And sometimes you wonder how these men end up in such sensitive positions, not just in Nigeria, but across Africa. The worst of us leading us. And that is why we have ended up in the middle of nowhere. And Lumumba have said it all. What else do you want me to say? I have been saying it here on this platform so that we open up the consciousness of Nigerian people and Africans as a whole, that it is left for them to take their lives back and liberate themselves from these current colonial masters parading themselves as your political leaders. Colonization never ends, though. We are still being colonized by Africans in Africa. Wicked people. But it is left for you to continue living as slaves or determine to liberate yourself. I will keep speaking whether you like it or not. I am not an advocate of violence or anarchy or breakdown of law and order, because the ultimate victims will always be the ordinary people, not the problem. It's who are the political class. They are the problem themselves. They are not being affected. The only thing that affects them and hit them hard is political revolution. We must continue. We've done the first one and people say it's a failure. No! Look at what is happening today. It shows clearly that the revolution actually triggered something these politicians never expected, and will continue until we remove them from. It is not a one dash sprint. No, it is something we must continue hitting hard, hitting hard, hitting hard, hitting hard until these oppressors give way. They are not going to willingly give way. You must fight for it. Come together, Nigerians, irrespective of wherever you're coming from. Come together, Africans, irrespective of your tribe or country, and determine to liberate yourself from these your current colonial masters in the name of your political leaders. That is where I'm ending it. What is your thought on this? Help me share this video, because it's a target and open up the consciousness of African people to rise for their true liberation. I'm a Pan-Africanist and an advocate for good governance. Help me share this video if it makes sense to you, to everyone. It needs to go viral. Bye-bye for now.